Glazer! We want Glazer! So we want Glazer! We want Glazer! So we want Glazer! We want Glazer! Forever and ever! MUFC, okay. MUFC, okay.
Hello and thank you so much for clicking and for watching this video. If you haven't done so already, why not subscribe, leave me a like, and of course leave any thoughts, comments and feedback on this or any of the other previous videos, because all of that good stuff just helps me when I'm creating future videos. But today I want to talk about the protest that happened outside Old Trafford, fans getting inside the stadium, give my thoughts, give my opinion, and talk about the atmosphere at the protest last week and compare it to the atmosphere at the protest this week. Now, last week there were a good number there, there were a healthy number of fans there, but it was a much smaller number, but it was peaceful. There was a less of a police presence, but there was no trouble and it was fine. It was a hot Saturday afternoon, 3 o'clock, when the majority of football would normally be kicking off. And it was fine, you know, it was great. Everybody sort of made their opinions heard, voiced their opinions, and we went about our business, and then we went home. And then today, that was amplified tenfold. It really was, and you would expect that. It's Manchester United and Liverpool. It's the biggest game in the English football calendar, one of the biggest fixtures, if not the biggest fixtures in world football. Two teams with so many honours. United 20 league titles, Liverpool 19. Liverpool 6 European titles, United 3. You know, Liverpool, you've got Shankly, you've got Fowler, you've got Dalglish, you've got all these sort of Bob Paisley, you've got all these sort of legends. United, you've got Busby Babes, you've got Ferguson, you've got Cantona. It just, for both teams, you know, there's so much history there, and it's a massive fixture. And some fans are obviously disappointed. Some fans are complaining that the game didn't go ahead, that it's been, postponed, which I think was the right thing to do for health and safety. Also COVID, you know, is still a factor. So I think it was the right thing to do. But I think, you know, the majority of fans, and it is the majority of fans, were peaceful. They were in good spirits, but they were also angry, frustrated, and this is built and built and built over coming up to 16 years now. And I think the Super League, it's, as a lot of people have said, you know, it's the tipping point. It was the tipping point. Football as I've said before, is a meritocracy, and I don't think fans of any club, especially especially let's say the clubs with less financial power, I don't think they're obviously happy about it. But of course, but us as fans are not happy about it, even if we're a club with supposedly more financial power. We're not happy about it either because we know that's wrong. We know that it's elitism and football is a meritocracy and you have to earn your place. But also beyond that, there's the fact that the Glazers bought us with money that they didn't have. They've been taking money from the club and making a very good living for themselves at the expense of Manchester United. But for me, again, this isn't just about Manchester United. As much as it isn't just about Manchester United. And that's, for me, it's something that I've thought about more and more as this whole Super League thing has come and gone, and it's still there somewhere. They'll try and bring it back, and they'll try and repackage it and make it more glamorous. And there will be some fans that are drawn in because they get to see Juventus and Barcelona, or Manchester United and Manchester City in Valencia, on a Tuesday night. They'll get excited about that because Man United and Barcelona. Or, they'll get excited about that and they'll buy into it. And that's the nature of some fans, some people. In all walks of life, people are fickle, and I get that. But, I think about people at ground level. I think about the people that work on food stalls, drink stalls, pubs, restaurants, work around the area, and especially on match days, they profit from that. They make a lot of money. It's good for their business. But, these smaller businesses won't survive if things like the European Super League go ahead and Manchester United or whoever these supposedly big six teams will be in the future, because they might change, I don't know. How will those businesses survive if these top six clubs aren't playing in the Premier League anymore and they're just playing in the Super League and they're playing at neutral venues? How will those be? It affects everyone. There are so many things that you think about when you just step back from the footballing side, when you step back from things like football's a meritocracy, and you step back from all those kind of things, you think, well, actually, this has a massive impact. It's not just on football, it's on business, it's on community, and that's something that I've felt stronger about as the time has passed on the Super League. It was announced, you're appalled, you think this isn't fair, it's elitism, and then you think, no, actually, they will destroy communities, and it would destroy football as a whole. But think about all the teams at the lower end of the football pyramid, how much they will be damaged. So that's how strongly I feel about this. And never mind my own club, which has been damaged so much, by the Glazers' ownership. And some people say, I heard Graham Souness saying things along the line, I'm paraphrasing, but saying about you weren't complaining when you were winning things. That's almost papers over the cracks, doesn't it? It papers over the cracks, but we'd already got these sort of players like Ronaldo. We bought him before the Glazers came in. Fergie saw his talent, the talent that he has, the talented young player. We already had our veterans in there in Scholes and Giggs and Neville and Keane. So we had that core that knew the club that could carry us through. And we had Fergie at the helm. We had Ferguson at the helm. So it carried us through. And Ferguson was a genius because he could get the absolute best out of what some people will say are, I hate this term, but, average players. He could get the absolute best. And that's taking nothing away from him. He just elevated them to another level. But, so that's Ferguson. That's nothing to do with the Glazers. We weren't going out every year and buying like the best players in the world. We weren't spending astronomical. And people talk about the amount of money we've spent. Yes, we've spent money since Ferguson's gone, but it's been spent in the wrong areas. So you look at things like the Glazer and you look at things like Woodward, and things. There's a pattern there, isn't there? There's a pattern. So you're sort of fighting for your club, and you're looking at what you want from your club. And some people have this idea that Manchester United deserve to be at the top of the league, winning everything because of the history. For me, it's not. This isn't about league titles. It's not about European cups. It's about the legacy. It's about the history. It's about the heritage, and it's about what Manchester United means to you as a fan, to you as a football fan, to you as a Manchester United fan. And I think, when you go to these protests, now for me, I can only speak for me. I can only speak on my behalf. But when you hear what people are saying, you realise oh, they feel the same as me. They feel the same as me. So I do have to talk about this protest today. Like last week was small. You will always get a minority of fans that can ruin it. And first of all, now this is a video or something I want to talk about more in depth, maybe at another date. But today I felt something, as someone who's new to YouTube, and as I'm only just recently over the last few months started posting sort of my opinions and things on football. There seemed to be like a resentment for YouTube. Now I'm not going to go into what people were singing, but there was a real resentment of that, and also there were a few fans that were like physically and verbally like abusing some of these photographers, and that's not on. And I don't want these people to be the representatives of my club or of football, as a whole, on the whole, because if they are seen doing that, they're caught on camera doing that, that goes back to whoever, a newspaper, and that becomes the face of football, of Manchester United. And you can bet your bottom dollar that they will be pushing the hooligan narrative now. That's what they want, because it just deflects away from the reason as to why we were there today and why fans are so frustrated, because they've been taken for granted. But I'll tell you now, when you really sit back in the wake of all the European Super League and all the announcements and protests, when you sit back and you really think about it, a club, all that time that you've spent with it, all the times that you've been there, all the experiences, all the highs and the lows, the club gives you something. So you have an affection and a love for your club, but the club and the owners need you. Really, you don't need them. You support the players, you support the team, you support your club in sort of what it stands for and its history, and based on all your own experiences and everything you've been through together, because it is a relationship that you have with your club. It's a very special thing. But if you stop putting money in, you don't buy the merchandise, you don't buy the tickets, they cannot survive without you. They need you. They need you to put your money in your pocket to go and see your team play. And you love seeing your team play, but they don't respect you. They don't care. And that is what has pushed people, I think, to the edge, that they've been taken for granted. With the European Super League, it's almost like you don't care. The term legacy fans, I hate that. I hate it so much. How patronising is that? Oh, you're a legacy fan. They're the lifeblood of a club. Without these fans, where will you be? So I think today, in the last few weeks, and you have to sort of credit fans of other clubs as well, Arsenal, of course, Liverpool fans, Chelsea fans, you have to give them all credit. But I think we've taken it to another level today. Yes, there were a minority of fans that I think made it uncomfortable, But that's what you're going to get, unfortunately. You're going to get it. I didn't like it because I was there and I thought, I didn't sign up for this. I didn't sign up for this. I came to protest and do what I can to make my voice heard and to stand alongside other United fans. I didn't come here to sort of push and verbally abuse and intimidate photographers. I didn't come here to attack people. That's not what I'm in it for. I'm in it for the good of Manchester United and for the good of football, really, as a sport. I use that word meritocracy again, but also for people that work in and around the grounds. People, the coffee sellers, your burger sellers, all these people, they rely on the match day income from your football fans. And if you take that away, they've already suffered over the last year through COVID. If the European Super League had gone ahead and we're playing at neutral venues, that's gone. All that's gone. So it's not just about us as fans. It's not just about Manchester United or Liverpool or any of these other teams. It's about the people that work there as well. They're important. They're the people that I think are being forgotten in all of this. And I think that was why it was. I don't know what happened. I turned into a robot. That was why it was important to go today for me personally, speaking on my behalf. But like I say, it was the majority of fans were peaceful. There was a really good atmosphere. It was just that minority. I didn't go into the ground. I didn't go onto the pitch. But I've got the video at the beginning of this, is when we were sort of moving forward. But yeah, so that was the protest, and those are my thoughts. And my thoughts change every day, but my anger and my frustration doesn't subside, and I'm really just hoping that this momentum keeps going now. I'm just hoping that we can continue, and I'll look out for what else is happening. I don't know who organised this today, but it was really well organised, and I'll look out for the next one. So the game didn't go ahead. Manchester United versus Liverpool, biggest game in the English football calendar. Two clubs with a massive history, one of the biggest games, if not the biggest game in football in the world, didn't go ahead. And that's the power of the fans. Fans have had their say, and you're not going to silence us now. So, thank you so much for watching this video. If you haven't done so already, why not subscribe, leave a like, and of course leave any thoughts, comments and feedback on this or any of the other videos, because all that stuff just helps me when I'm creating future content. And until next time, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you all soon.